Howdy, folks. This is the Arkham Hillbilly, and I need to set the record straight about something. Now, I reckon that most of you have read the story The Shadow over Innsmouth by HP Lovecraft. It's a pretty nice edition here from PS Publishing you can get if you want. Now, this is a pretty good story, but it really gave the town of Innsmouth a black eye. And the folks on the Innsmouth Tourist Board have asked me to come and sort of set the record straight with y'all so you won't be afraid to visit their town. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Mr. Arkham Hillbilly, what makes you such an expert on this? Well, if you've read the story, you know there's a teenage kid in it working in a grocery store. And, well, that kid was me. This is a while back, obviously. And the store was a 7-Eleven, in case you're interested. Now, what happens in the story, the way HP spins it, is that there's this guy, let's call him Ethan, on account of that was his name. And so Ethan goes to Innsmouth, a place he ain't heard nothing but dirt about. So he goes there, and immediately he starts drinking with this old fella named Zadok Allen. And Zadok tells him that the folks at Innsmouth have been mating with sea monsters. And next thing you know, Ethan's got to spend the night at the hotel, and the sea monsters and the other people of Innsmouth come to get him there. And then he makes an escape, and the sea monsters chase him out of town. And then he discovers that he's half sea monster himself. Well, I can't tell it as pretty as HP does. I didn't use no big words like batrachian, but you get the gist. Well, you can see why this might put people off visiting Innsmouth, because who wants to get chased by a bunch of sea monsters? But let me tell you what really happened. So first of all, Ethan got most of his information from old Zadok Allen. Now, there was no man alive fonder of the hooch and the tall tale than Zadok Allen. Believe you me, I spent many a day drinking gibbets with him, and he told me how he'd visited the moon and how he once rode a cannonball and all kinds of things. So I wouldn't go take everything he said as gospel, which it kind of seems like Ethan did. Now, second, most of the story takes place where Ethan's trying to escape from the Gilman house in Innsmouth, which is the hotel. Now, that's the name HP give it, probably for legal reasons, because he didn't want to get sued. Because Gilman House, you get it, right? Well, actually, it was a Howard Johnson's. So what happened was, about 2 o'clock in the morning, Ethan thinks it's a bright idea to start dragging the furniture all over the room. Well, the person downstairs complained, and the bellboy had to go up and tell Ethan to knock it off. Well, rather than open the door like a normal person, Ethan jams a chair up under the doorknob, and then he goes into the room next door, and he starts wrecking that room too. So now the manager's up there trying to deal with this situation in the hall, and all the folks in the hotel have come out to watch because it's free entertainment. So what Ethan does is he rips the drapes off the window, and then he uses them to go out the window and run away. Well, he's surprised in the story that they're chasing him. Let's put this in perspective. He just wrecked 2 rooms at the Howard Johnson's, and now he's skedaddling without paying the bill. Yeah, they're chasing you, all right. They got a pretty strict policy at Hojo against this kind of nonsense, you know, but frankly, I'd be surprised if you could get away with it at a roadway inn. So that's what happened. Now, the proof of this story is supposed to be the Innsmouth look. Well, hell, I mean, I used to go out with a gal who had the Innsmouth look, and she was pretty good looking, too. It's almost like a status symbol here in Arkham, like, hey, you see Jethro in town with that Innsmouth look gal? Yeah, I once saw a whole article in Cosmo magazine about 17 ways to get the Innsmouth look. So I hope that puts your mind at rest about visiting Innsmouth. The fishing is great. They've redeveloped the whole Docklands area, and down at the aquarium there, they got some of the darndest things you're ever going to see. Now, if you do come, give me a shout. Let me know. I'll come down there and visit with you. I'll even introduce you to old Zadok Allen. He can tell you about he once married the Queen of Abyssinia or some such foolishness, and you and me can just pass the gibbous and smile.